Hi everyone, my name is Nuri David, and today I'm going to be going over my tech journey. I want to give a little bit of an overview and then kind of go into my experience. Because as many of you may know, I didn't go from high school to college to a job. I went more of a non-traditional path. Without further ado, let's get into the video. So I want to go into it. First, I went to high school, right? Now it sounds a little like, oh, you went to high school, everyone went to high school, right? But I was lucky enough and privileged enough to go to a Montessori school. Now, for anyone who doesn't know what a Montessori school is, there it is an amazing school which kind of is more individualized to kids and is a smaller classroom setting. And it not only breaks classes down by age and grade, but also by level of understanding and also how people learn. So I'm more of a visual learner and a little more of a hands-on learner. So I was able to have projects as such. And one of the classes that we actually were given was a coding class. So in that coding class, I was able to understand and learn the basics in coding and programming, and I just fell in love with it, and I really took a liking to it. So after that, and as I got more into it, I like the basics of it and the concepts, and it made me think in a different way that I never have. And I knew I didn't want to go to college. I've been told that I didn't really need college for software engineering. It's not like I want to be a doctor, right? Where our traditional job where you have to kind of go to those 4 or 8 years of schooling. I did not want to sit in the classroom for another 4 years, and I knew that what I wanted to do. I knew my calling. So after high school, it was actually my senior year was COVID, so it gave me kind of some time to reflect and kind of figure things out. And my cousin actually went to a UX boot camp. So she was telling me about her experience and how it was an amazing time and how she was able to kind of avoid the college route. And she actually got hired shortly after that boot camp at a very big company and was compensated well, and it was a good situation. So I decided, you know what, let me take a shot. So in February of 2021, I decided to start a boot camp, and it started in February and it went until May. So long story short, it was a very intense boot camp, 12 to 15 hours a day, 6 days a week. It was very intense. Probably one of the hardest things I've ever done in my entire life. But you know what? If you're going to go to a boot camp, they tell you beforehand, you're not going to have family, you're not going to have friends. You are going to be just alone with the computer and the people who are online with you, your instructors, your classmates, and that's it. So after the boot camp, that's when the real work started. Now, here I was thinking I was finished with the boot camp, but no, it's really, really intense because you don't have any structure, you don't have someone, kind of pushing you and telling you, yeah, you could do this, you could do this. There was some sort of support from the boot camp, but it's really up to you to go out and contact recruiters and pretty much schedule interviews and contact employers and get interviews, right? That's the goal. For months, I was trying to look for a job and practice and sharpen my skills. I was trying to make sure that if something came up, an interview came up, my skills were sharp and I was ready to go. I finally took an approach which I think worked for me, and obviously things work differently for other people. But for me, the approach I took was kind of cold emailing and cold texting recruiters on LinkedIn. The two people I'd send emails to, or on LinkedIn messages, were recruiters looking to place employees and junior developers like myself. And then I also tried looking for people who worked at the companies I was applying to, such as if I was applying to Disney, I reached out to people in that general, division, and I tried to see if they were able to, maybe get me an interview or something like of the sort. After a few months of doing this and getting some interviews, I finally got an interview with the company I'm at now, a big company, a very prestigious company. Pretty much, I didn't think I was going to get the role, but you know what? I went in with a positive attitude, and I did very well in the interview. And I was like, okay, maybe I'll get somewhere. And so there was actually a second interview scheduled, later that week. So that was a technical interview that was coming up. So the technical interview, I think, didn't go so well, but at the same time, it did go well because obviously I got hired there. But it was pretty much they asked me a few questions. I got a few right, a few wrong, but the things that I got wrong, I definitely tried and explained my way of thinking, and I was persistent and showed them that I was very interested and I wanted to solve it. I didn't just say, "Oh, I don't know," you know? I think a lot of people would have just kind of been like, "I don't really know, I don't know." Especially if you're in an interview, right? You want to always make sure that you're putting your best foot forward and explaining how you're thinking. Even if you don't know the answer itself, you want to show the employer and the person interviewing you that you could get to the solution given the chance. So after the interview was over though, I thought nothing of it. I thought that I got a few answers wrong. I wasn't going to hear back from them. And you know what? Later that week, I got a call that I got the offer and I was ecstatic. It was one of the best days I've ever had in my life. It was a very, very good day, and it was all around just phenomenal. I was ecstatic. My family was happy. We went out to celebrate. It was just a great time. Here I am over 2 years later at the same company. I've been enjoying every second of my time here. I've been able to learn so much. I've been able to grow as a developer, and I am just so happy and thankful and privileged that I'm in this position. But you know what? Throughout the entire experience, while I was going through the boot camp, while I was, trying to find a job, I had people tell me and criticize and say, maybe you should try going to college and finding a real job, or you try doing it the more traditional way, the more proven way. But you know what? I kept going. I believed in myself and I invested in myself. And here I am, better than ever. And I am so thankful that I was. So pretty much that sums up my story. I will go more in depth on, the boot camp experience, on the high school coding class if you guys are interested. But just in general, wanted to give you kind of an overview and a synopsis of my experience, and just to show you whether you're in another career or you're in high school right now and you're looking to join the tech field, even a FANG company, right? Nothing's off the table. If you apply yourself, if you're willing to work harder than other people, you will make it just like I did. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I just wanted to give you guys a synopsis of my experience. And in future videos, I'm going to go more in depth on each one of those steps or each one of those, steps in my journey. And I can't wait to share more with you guys. See you in the next video. Bye.